come from? That's a question Valley cities are now asking after the 7 states along the Colorado River submitted their latest plan to reduce their water allocations.
No more water. What just happened with Colorado River shocked scientists. Have you ever experienced a shock so intense that it made you question the very fabric of reality? That is exactly what happened to the scientific community when the 7 states along the Colorado River submitted their latest plan to reduce their water allocations. This means that no more water will be taken from the Colorado. But where will the water come from? That's the question the Valley cities are now asking. What other changes will this development bring to the environment? How will the lives of the people living in the area be affected? The haunting truth about the Colorado River has sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Filled with sorrow and fear, scientists have made alarming discoveries about the once magnificent river and the dark secrets it holds within its depths. The Colorado River, a lifeline for countless communities, is now teetering on the edge of destruction, causing panic among those who rely on its life-giving waters. This majestic river, alongside the Rio Grande, weaves through the arid landscapes of the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. Spanning a staggering 23-30 kilometers, it nourishes 7 American states and 2 regions in Mexico, forming an expansive web of existence. Tragically, this vibrant waterway is drying up at an alarming rate, as if plowed by a sinister curse. The very name of the Colorado River, meaning red or reddish river, in the ghostly language of Spanish, evokes a sense of foreboding. Even the early Spanish explorers mistakenly confused it with the Brazos River, an ominous sign of the river's deceptive nature. Unbeknownst to them, the Colorado River had already begun to transform into an accursed entity, draining the life force of all those who depended on its survival. Hidden within the river lies a realm of terror that has sent chills down the spines of scientists. Its origins in the Rocky Mountains, particularly Ladre Pass Lake in Colorado, now seem like portals to a forsaken dimension. The river flows ominously through the desolate landscapes of western Colorado, southeastern Utah, and northwestern Arizona, carving its way through the majestic Grand Canyon. Little did the inhabitants of these lands know that they would soon become victims of the river's insidious wrath. To make matters worse, the states along the river have begrudgingly agreed to limit their water usage, a desperate attempt to salvage what remains of this once life-sustaining artery. Yet despite their efforts, the flow of the Colorado River continues to dwindle, like the fading pulse of a dying creature. Scientists are haunted by the possibility that this precious water source will slowly evaporate into non-existence, leaving only echoes of lost sustenance. The dread surrounding the Colorado River's decline stems from multiple sources. Climate instability, with its capricious weather patterns, has relentlessly brought drought to the region, reducing the river's strength to a mere trickle. The pervasive influence of industrial farming has further exacerbated the crisis, depleting the already fragile water supplies and transforming vast areas into desolate wastelands. As sinister as it sounds, the voracious thirst of these agricultural giants has drained the very essence of life from the river. As the river's once mighty waters retreat, the dire consequences become increasingly apparent. The ominous specter of Lake Mead, a crucial water source for Los Angeles, looms over the metropolis like a damnable prophecy. Its steady depletion threatens to leave the city parched and desolate. Even the seemingly invincible cities of San Diego and Denver face a grim fate, as their water supplies hang precariously in the balance. The desperation is palpable, as the remains of 5 unfortunate souls were recovered from the barren reaches of a once vibrant Lake Mead. Startling revelations have emerged, painting a bleak future for this mighty waterway. Experts now predict that the water level of the river will permanently recede by a staggering 5 to 20 feet within a mere 4 decades. The consequences are dire and could spell disaster for the millions who rely on its life-giving waters. In the vicinity of a reservoir known as Hemingway Fishing Pier, a grisly discovery unfolded. a man's decomposing body was unearthed, confined within a barrel of all places. The mystery deepens as investigators unearth a connection to Coralville Police Lake, situated a chilling 20 kilometers away. But this perplexing case does not stand alone, for it is but one of many unsolved mysteries plaguing the river today. The relentless evaporation plaguing the Colorado River remains a growing concern. Will it intensify and contribute to the river's dwindling water levels? With every drop lost to the merciless sun, the future grows darker and more uncertain. The consequences of this evaporation are far-reaching, as it threatens to push the river to the brink of irreversible decline. To truly comprehend the magnitude of this unfolding catastrophe, we must understand the significance of the Colorado River. Originating from the majestic Continental Divide, it majestically flows through 7 cities and spans 2 nations, permeating an area encompassing a staggering 260,000 square meters. This river is not merely colossal in size, but also hailed as the hardest worker in the West. Its waters play a vital role in sustaining the lives of an astonishing 36 million people across the United States. However, the current state of affairs is anything but reassuring. The Colorado River's demise has been a topic of fierce debate and contentious legal battles for over a century. The Colorado River, once a mighty force of nature, is now facing a dire situation. Its water levels have plummeted by a staggering 20%, leaving scientists deeply concerned about its future. But what is the root cause of this alarming decline? Unstable weather conditions have played a significant role in the river's dwindling size. Yes, something as seemingly simple as the weather has wreaked havoc on the Colorado River. Rainfall and snowfall patterns have become increasingly erratic, leaving the region parched and the river gasping for sustenance. However, the blame does not solely lie with Mother Nature. Humans, as it turns out, have also played a major part in the river's plight. The Colorado River serves as a vital source of irrigation for over 2 million hectares of agricultural land. Astonishingly, a staggering 3/4 of the river's water is diverted to feed the insatiable thirst of crops. Industrial farming practices have only exacerbated the problem. Vast areas of agriculture have been irrigated, draining the precious water reserves of the area. While this has resulted in bountiful harvests, it has come at a great cost to the river. As the water continues to recede, scientists are growing increasingly alarmed, predicting that the river will soon reach a point of no return. This impending crisis has far-reaching implications. Water levels are projected to reach critically low levels in the coming years, rendering dams useless and turbines idle. The once vital source of electricity will be reduced to a mere trickle, unable to power the surrounding communities. The Colorado River weaves its way through 7 states, its journey beginning as a collection of humble streams in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. It is nourished by tributaries that originate in Wyoming, gaining strength as it winds its way south and west. Spanning a staggering 1,450 miles, it eventually empties into the Gulf of California in Mexico. The distribution of water from the Colorado River is a contentious issue, dividing the states into 2 distinct basins, the Upper Basin and the Lower Basin. The Upper Basin comprises Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, and New Mexico, while the Lower Basin consists of California, Arizona, and Nevada. Each basin has its own unique challenges when it comes to water allocation. In the Upper Basin, states play a crucial role in regulating the amount of water drawn from massive reservoirs like Lake Powell and Lake Mead. These reservoirs serve as lifelines for millions of people, but as water levels drop, they edge perilously close to a state known as dead pool. If the water levels in these reservoirs reach this critical point, it would effectively cut off water access to an estimated 25 million individuals who rely on Lake Mead. The question of whether Colorado will ever see its water restored echoes throughout the state, and the answer from scientists is far from encouraging. They predict that the water levels may never fully recover. citing climate change as a significant factor. Over the next 4 decades, it is projected that the water level could permanently decrease by 5 to 20 feet. The reduction in precipitation in the Rocky Mountains directly impacts the water flow, exacerbating the problem. Rising temperatures further compound the issue, as higher temperatures lead to decreased water flow. With less water available, the future looks bleak for Colorado's once mighty river. Water rights play a crucial role in determining who has the authority to extract water from the Colorado River. These rights are governed by a complex web of laws, judicial rulings, contracts, and regulations collectively known as the law of the river. These rights are based on seniority, with agreements dating back to the famed 1922 Colorado River Compact. In a world where the mighty Colorado River runs dry, dark secrets are emerging from its drying waters. The once majestic river, shared by the United States and Mexico, has been the subject of numerous agreements and court battles over the years to ensure fair water distribution. However, the river's natural flow has dwindled to alarming levels in recent times, exposing the haunting truth that lies beneath its parched surface. In a shocking case that rocked the nation in 1963, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of California, granting them a significant portion of the dwindling water supply. California would receive a staggering 4.4 million acre-feet of the first 7.5 million acre-feet that flowed into the lower basin states. Arizona and Nevada were not left empty-handed, with allocations of 2.8 million and 300,000 acre-feet, respectively. If this dark tale has captivated your imagination, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future updates on these mysteries.